Main message is basically we want to talk about kidnapped boys, returning them home right away, immediately, safe and sound. We're going to bring this message home to America. Governor Huckabee is going to help us with that. We're going to show American support and give chizuk to our brethren here in Israel. We're going to also talk about and have a forum in the future about the delegitimization that is occurring of Israel by BDS and other groups. It's a tremendous problem.
The significance of today's session, talking about the rights of the Jews living in the land of Israel, was primarily to hear Governor Huckabee say very clearly to the world, effectively, that the land of Israel belongs to the Jewish people, that there is no possibility to have a second state when one already exists here, that the concept of handing away the land of Israel to whether the Palestinians be under the PLO or Hamas is just something which is untenable. Of course, you mentioned also the whole issue of the boys who were abducted. God forbid if more land was handed away to the Arabs. If this is what's happening today, then one can only imagine the tragedies that would fall upon the Jewish people if land was given away. So God willing, that message will get across to the American government, to the world. Although more importantly, I think we have to say to ourselves that the land of Israel belongs to the Jewish people, and we as the indigenous nation here should be screaming out from every rooftop.
The message for Mike Huckabee, and I had a chance to speak with Mike Huckabee personally, was that this guy wants to do stuff for Israel. And trying to be very practical with him, we just purchased all of the new Palestinian school books used in the UNRWA system, paid for by the United States government. If he wants to be what we call a shaliach mitzvah and to do something serious.
An emissary.
An emissary, right, and he's got to do something serious. He is on Fox News, he's well thought of, he can make an issue out of it. We always say that a problem is a problem when someone makes it into a problem, and Mike is not afraid of anybody. And basically, we have asked the U.S. government, we get no response whatsoever, and this is something that Mike can do. It's brand new school books, and they're here talking about delegitimation of Israel from coming all over the world, from Iran, from Saudi Arabia, from wherever. This is coming from Washington, D.C., from allocations from the U.S. Congress and from the USAID. He can do something about this.
And what did he say?
He said he was very concerned, and he would take it up, and now let's see if he makes an issue out of it.
Yoni, I think that it was a great session because we had not only Governor Huckabee here, but we also had tremendous leadership from around the American Jewish community. I'm talking in particular of my boss, president of our organization, the Zionist organization, Mort Klein, who I thought spoke beautifully about some of the nomenclature, some of the wording that we're using, which can actually help to bring about the kind of BDS incitement that we are experiencing right now. So if we avoid using some of those terms that he pointed out, I think we will go a long way to tamping down a lot of the incitement from the BDS movement. You know, there were words like occupation, and words like using the two-state solution, because as Mort points out, using a term like two-state solution really places the legitimacy of Israel on the creation of another state, on the creation of a Palestinian state. That should not be.
What do you say to people who say we're not boycotting Israeli products, we're not boycotting Jewish projects, we're boycotting products that are coming from Judea and Samaria? They try to target that basically on that.
It's absurd. It's again, it's anti-Semitism, true anti-Semitism. It's always disguised in some form or another, but don't ever mistake anti-Semitism. Anti-Semitism comes at you from all corners, and just because they say it's from Judea and Samaria, it's absurd, because first of all, Caterpillar, Hewlett-Packard, these are huge companies. They bring economic activity to the Arabs. SodaStream was represented by Yonah Lloyd today, the president of SodaStream. Over 500 Arab employees. You can't boycott the economics of a country. You're destroying. It's really destroying the whole country, because it's again, there are a lot of arbitrary boundaries that are drawn. There are about 1 million people in Judea and Samaria, as far as I see it right now, if you include Ma'ale Adumim. And 1 million people are 1/6 of the Jewish population of Israel. You're not going to just wipe out 1/6 of a population because you disagree with us or because of anti-Semitism.
Talking about the Israeli citizens in Judea and Samaria, or all the people living there?
I'm talking about the Jewish citizens of Judea and Samaria, approximately 1 million at this point in time, if you include Mala Adumim in the count. So to the BSD or BDS groups, this is the latest form of anti-Semitism, and we're going to defeat them.
It was a very important Knesset session that we had, very well attended by a lot of Chavrei Knesset, members of the Knesset, and also a lot of ministers. And among a lot of people came from the outside because they heard about this. And it was summoned and called for by Nissim Ze'ev, Chavrei Knesset from Shas. And it was basically against the delegitimization of the State of Israel and against the BDS movement and things like that, and great support from America for Israel. And of course, it was headlined by having Governor Mike Huckabee, who's probably going to be a candidate, hopefully, for the Republicans in the upcoming elections in 2 years for president of the United States.